Good evening and welcome back to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis, and with me tonight I have Mark and Stu as usual. Tonight we're going to talk about Cole Palmer because there have been some development recently coming out from Graeme Bailey and Team Talk saying Manchester United are actively exploring the situation of Cole Palmer, with sources confirming the club are intrigued by the prospect of bringing the Chelsea attacking midfielder back to his native Northwest. So again, this is where we are going with this case. We will talk about Cole Palmer. Can we get him? Who will he replace? Is he just a backup if Bruno leaves? Who will make up his decision after the World Cup? There will be a lot to talk about. We will also debate the contract renewal of Harry Maguire. Today, sources came out saying that we will renew his contract by, was it 2 years, I believe, with another extension for another year. So that will also be a debate. I know where I stand. I want to hear Stu Wally's take on it because we know that Stu Wally and Harry Maguire, they are in cahoots. So, guys, guys, Stu and I will be back after the break. So, do me a favor, smash the like, subscribe if this is your first time, and we will see you after the short intro. So, guys, see you in a second. Welcome to the Tactical Devils. Ready for another show. It's been a while. We did a show on Friday, but I've been out traveling, so I haven't been able to do any streams for the last couple of weeks. But we are back. Yeah. We are ready to talk about Man United. I know it's a slow news day, but we have to talk about Cole Palmer. I want to know more what Stu and Mark says about that guy and also the Harry Maguire thing. So I just want to say hi to everybody who has tuned in before we say hello to our beloved panel. We have Jarl Malmin coming in and say, strange, isn't it, that this story only comes up during breaks? Yes, it's kind of strange. I don't know why this comes up during breaks, but it is what it is. We will talk more about it. Danny B is in the house saying, hit that like button on the way in. Yes, guys, listen to Danny B. He knows what he's talking about. Irish Pit Terrier. We have Bilal in the house coming in and saying, big up, missed you guys last time. Big up, Bilal. Big up, Bilal. That's okay. At least you are here now, and I hope you're well, my friend. Also, Stephanie Griffith is in the house. We have Vootinator coming in and say, Cole Palmer, yes, please. Yes, please. I would also take Cole Palmer to say like that. We need to know more about the details. And also we have Mick Ruby in the house coming in and saying big up panel and the chat. Who else? We have John Edmund. Big up John Edmund. And yeah, guys, if I missed any of you, sorry, just leave another comment and let's get started with the show. So first of all, welcome Stu Wally and welcome Mark. So, Stu, how you been? How you been, my friend?
All right. I've had quite a bit of a lazy day today, to be honest. Done a little bit of work, but not too much. It's the kind of Easter break here in the UK, so I'll do an hour or so tomorrow, and then there's family stuff to do, usual stuff. Just before we go any further, I dropped our backup YouTube channel in the chat. Please, can you like and subscribe? Because it's quite important we have a backup channel. We've been going on about it now for a couple of weeks since what's happened to Rich. So please go across to Tactical Devils United, subscribe, because if anything happens to the main channel, we will go directly to that second channel. We should be co-streaming, but we forgot, didn't we, to do that tonight. So we will do that next time out. That's our bad. We forgot to co-stream, but it's quite important that we have a second channel now. YouTube is all over the place with AI, algorithms, all of that kind of stuff. So this is our second channel.
Yes, guys. It's what we are going to do now. Just having a backup channel. Mark, how are you, my friend? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, you're on mute.
Can't hear you again.
Okay. Having technical issues.
Cheers, Johnny. Thanks, John Edmonds.
Okay.
Brilliant. Johnny Commode's in the chat. Mark will sort himself out, and he will join us when he does. Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
I'm as much as divided by this as and conflicted by this as I've ever been, because what an absolute unbelievably talented footballer. I mean, you know, what he's done at Chelsea, the short space of time that he's been there, is nothing short of brilliant for them. And a bad or a non-playable Cole Palmer for Chelsea at the moment has been, in my mind, been the catalyst of their downfall. Now, whether this is Liam Rosenior not understanding how to play him, this is whether Cole Palmer just basically does not want to play for Chelsea anymore, and we've experienced this as Manchester United fans all the time. Then he would be, Jarvis, a amazing signing for us. I think he's the type of signing, if I'm not mistaken, that would get you off your feet. He could well be. This is high praise, so I can't believe I'm about to say it, but I'm going to utter the words. He could be that Eric Cantona catalyst that does something to the club, the players, the fans. Yes, he is a luxury player. Yeah, absolutely, and that's where I'm torn with it. Bilal's going to take my win now, because that's where I was going with.
Okay, yeah.
But is he something that we need right now? Would we? Where would we play?
Well, I kind of mentioned it in my intro, Stu, and yeah. I think one of the key elements in all of this, and I think we have to try to reverse a little bit and talk a little bit about the facts. And for me, you know, I see him, you know, coming in. He will be an attacking midfielder, most likely a number 10. He could also at times play on the right and left. You know, it depends, you know, how fluent you want to be, but predominantly as a number 10. And we know who plays in the number 10 role for Man United. The guy with the most assists in the Premier League. So for me, I think this is Man United talking about what if. What if Bruno leaves? Because Bruno hasn't confirmed that he's staying next season. The report says that Bruno will make up his mind. He will make a decision about his future after the World Cup. So again, we will be in very limited time after the World Cup finding a replacement. So I think this is Man United thinking ahead for once and trying to find a suitable solution if Bruno leaves. And if Bruno stays, I think this Cole Palmer thing will go out the window right away.
Yeah. So my take on that is very, very simple. You must make a decision before the World Cup. You must advise us before the World Cup. And if you don't, then, and we do go out and we get Cole Palmer, then it's going to be detrimental to you, and it's your own choosing. Because that's exactly where he plays. There's a big echo somewhere.
I think it's Mark. So we have a slight echo. So if you can just put on the echo cancellation, that would be nice.
There you go.
Thank you.
So if that's the case, Jarvis, then we can't. I think you're right. I think we are trying to look ahead. In which case, we can't rely on Bruno to make a decision. But this has always been the problem, though, Jarvis, with Manchester United recently. I will make a decision on what I want to do. No, the club will make a decision on what you're going to do. You won't tell us, we will tell you. And it has to be that way. It's got to be that way moving forward, pal. It cannot be any other way anymore. It just can't. I mean, I know we're going to talk about the Carrick situation later on in the show. And there's a bit of a synergy here that's attached to the way that we're looking at the Carrick situation is the way we're looking at possibly Bruno. But let me tell you, all, I am not rounding on Bruno here. I am talking about any footballer from now on does not dictate terms to us. We dictate terms to them. It's got to go back the other way around. Liverpool, Salah. I think Liverpool said to Salah, we'd rather you go now, pal. I'm convinced of it. Whether he says so or whether Liverpool come out and say so, I don't know. But that's a decision that they've made. There's been other decisions that have been made by the club, and the player has been kind of told what to do and how to spin it so that he doesn't become the fall guy out of all this. We can't have that. And Bruno's got the most passes. Jarvis, I'll go with passes, not assists. Passes, because that's what it is. Passes.
yeah. I get what you're saying, but
yeah, I know.
For the record, the assists are real, and
I'm being a bit facetious. But ultimately, he cannot say to us, "This is what we do. This is what I'm doing," and leave us high and dry, Jarvis. Can't be done. It's like me. Like I said to you before, the manager's got to be in May, whether we know about it or not. It has to be in May, so we can get buying the players that he wants. We can get rid of the players that he doesn't want. Or you're absolutely right. We flip all the way to the end of July, August time before we even start to get our team together. So Bruno's in that boat for me. You either make your decision now, before the World Cup, or you're staying after the World Cup, and that's it. It's the only thing that can be done.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with it. That's where
I think you make so much sense, Stu, and I agree with a lot of the things you are saying. By the way, Mark, I muted you because there were a slight feedback, so you have to unmute before you start talking. And by the way, I just want to say a question to Mark on this, because do you think this is the club putting the rumors out there that we are interested in Cole Palmer just to put pressure on Bruno to make up his mind a little bit earlier than after the World Cup? And
absolutely.
Should the club do it?
Absolutely. There is only one player who can replace Bruno currently who plays a similar kind of football, and it is Cole Palmer. He is that similar kind of player. There aren't many out there in that fashion of number 10s who are there to purely create. If anything, I think the number 10's on its way out and going back to 2 strikers rather than having a 10 and a striker, looking at what's happened this year. So, you've got to link someone, haven't you? You've got to have a big name going, well, look, if you're going, we're going out and buying this guy. So, but that then it doesn't mean he's got to leave, right? Bruno still holds all the power. This doesn't put any pressure on him to say, okay, I'll go. Okay, I'll stay. Because he holds all the power.
But should a club like Man United, that Man United stature, actually let Bruno hold us to ransom in a way? We all love Bruno, and his performance this season has been through the roof. When it comes to his XG and stats and goals and assists. But again, we gotta look ahead, and we have to plan this. We know it will be a very short transfer window, and it will be almost impossible to get so many players in after the World Cup. We are looking at maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 transfers. So again, do we need this Bruno noise? Again, shouldn't Bruno, if he loves the club and the fans and he's succeeding here, shouldn't he just come out and just tell us, I'm staying or I'm leaving? How hard can it be? Why the mystery?
When does his contract run out?
27. Is it 2 years left on his contract? Oh, yes. You're on mute, Stu.
I think he's got 2 years left, doesn't he?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter what he should or shouldn't do. He's got 2 years left on the contract. You can't get rid of him. So if he wants to stay at Man United, he stays at Man United. We created the monster, It is Frankenstein. You created that power hungry player who controls everything. And we're not the only club. Every club has that aspect within them. That's just the way football has evolved. The players hold the power. You put them on a big contract, you put them on big wages, they hold all the cards. They don't have to leave your club.
Mm, mm.
And he's at the end of his career, so damaging his transfer value or anything, there's no such thing, is he? He just retires. So his brother's just moved back to Portugal because he plays for Roffey near us, and bought him Bruno's bought him a 4G pitch, and he's moving back to Portugal. So they're obviously looking to move the family all back to Portugal. I can tell you that much.
Mm. Yeah. As you saw here, his current deal is running out in 2027, but we do, however, have an option to extend by a further year. So he could stay until 2028
That's 35,
if he wants.
Isn't it? That'll make him 35.
Yeah. And at that stage of your career, you will never get more than an extension for one more year. That's how you do it. I remember we did the same with Giggs, Paul Scholes, all these legends, Modric, Real Madrid, they play with 1 year, as long as they perform. And I think in a way, for me, the problem is, as I said, why can't Bruno just come out and say he's staying? Is it because of the manager? Do he wants to know more about the ambitions of the club? Or what's his angle?
But when did he come out and say he's leaving?
No, he's not. He
doesn't need to come out and say he's staying.
The report came out that Bruno was going to make up his mind after the World Cup. Yeah.
But like you say, it's the report. So this is the thing, Bruno. It's very hard for a player to come out because what was it? Eric Cantona said? No, Mourinho said, "If I speak, I'm in trouble. I can't win either way." So it's fuel on the fire. Whatever he says, yes or no. That's how the media drives it. Correct, Stu?
Unfortunately, aspects of the media does drive it. Yeah, I've seen it happen. On a daily basis. Somebody will take a word, a phrase, and they'll twist it. They'll twist it to a narrative that gets everybody talking. That's what media does. That's what we're trained to do, and that's what we do. Some bellends that walks around with a camera.
Yeah, but it wasn't the media. Bruno came out, remember, before Christmas with a long interview talking about his future at the club.
No, I'm just talking about the media. I'm just talking about the media in general. And this is what happens. And now you've got certain irritants who will go out and they'll report something on Twitter, they'll report something on Instagram, Facebook, and they pretend to be journalists. Half of them can't even spell journalist, let alone fucking pretend to be a journalist. They can't fucking do it. They think a journalist now is somebody with a camera, and it isn't.
Careful now, Stu. Remember, you're a journalist.
I am. This is what I mean. This is why I get angry. I get angry because it stains a profession that is centuries old, not widely respected. Let's be clear. There's been a lot of journalists in the past in different media that have tarnished the reputation of good, solid journalists. It's never been widely.
News of the world.
Well, that might be one of them. But with the days of social media, anybody can pick up anything and they will report it. And we've said this plenty of times, Jarvis, when you put something on X and it says, I don't know, Bruno is unhappy with the training and apparently has told Ruben Amorim. Really? Anyone can write that. And this is the problem with Twitter and modern media. What I would say is this, and I genuinely mean this, he is tied down to a contract, absolutely, but you've got to wrestle the reins back. Somewhere along the line, a club, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, you've got to wrestle the reins back from these players and say enough is enough. You aren't going to tell me what you want to do anymore. You are under contract with me, and I will make the decision whether or not you stay for the extra 2 years or I take some money for you. And if I take the money for you and you refuse it, I'll then decide what to do after that. It's got to stop. Somewhere along the line, it has to stop. And it doesn't need to be Manchester United. It can be any club, but it needs to be a club of stature. It needs to be a Manchester United, a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, a Liverpool, a Bayern Munich to turn and say, you know what, enough's enough. We've had enough of you people. You know, you cannot hold us to ransom anymore. So going back to the Bruno thing and Cole Palmer. Now, we've been quite open about this, not critical about Bruno, but open about our opinion. And the best way to squad build is to get as much money as you can. Now, sooner or later, okay, Bruno's going to walk away from the club. And if we're not prepared for that, we're not ready for that, because he can't be bothered to tell us, by the way, what he wants to do until after the World Cup, okay, then we've got problems. We are in a situation where we won't be prepared for his loss. So for me, I'd make it very, very clear to him prior to the World Cup at the end of the season, in that 2-week period before the season finishes and they go on their pre-World Cup tour, wherever it might be, or their training camp, that your decision has got to be made within that 2 weeks. I'm not waiting until after the World Cup. I'm not waiting until you get knocked out in the first round, you know, the round robin round. I'm not waiting. I need to know. I want to know what you are doing, because if you're not going to be here, I've got to get somebody in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that, but that's the only way for me.
The thing is, you talk about getting him in. Like, we spoke about this, I feel like just over a month ago, about how we'd missed the boat. Yeah, with Bruno. Last year was 100 million. Now we're getting 50. So we sell Bruno, we get 50 million for him. We still got to go pay 150 to get Cole Palmer. I originally, do you remember when I was saying it? I was saying close to 200, where the reported fee is 150 million to get him out of his contract.
Yeah, I think you can do a deal with Chelsea for Cole Palmer, whether or not we want him or not. But I think you can. I think you could do a deal with him with Chelsea. Chelsea are in big trouble. I mean, they are in big trouble. But
we're still paying more out than we're getting for doing the player swap, if you like. You know, one out, one in.
We're always gonna. That was always going to happen, though, wasn't it?
Because we missed the boat.
Replaced with him. Yeah, that's always going to happen from January.
From advocate, we are better off hanging on to Bruno and letting him walk away for 50 million and losing out on the 50 million we could sell him for, because we do need to spend that money elsewhere. More importantly,
but it's not only 50 million, Mark.
Huh?
It's not only 50 million. You know, Bruno's wages is about 350 a week. You know, that's almost 80 million pounds. So let's say we get another player in for, let's say, 10 million a year. We would have saved another 8 million for the remainder of the contract. So this is how you have to look at it from a financial perspective.
So at best, we get 24 million 3 years with the taking the extension.
Extra.
Who are you buying for 24 million?
I mean,
plus the 50.
It might not be.
You've also got to give wages to Cole Palmer around 300,000, 200,000.
I don't know what.
No, he's on less. He's on less. Yeah,
but you're going to want, if you know who you're replacing, you know what you're asking for.
But Palmer is never coming in on 300k. That will never happen in Man United. Not at the current wage structure. People probably be somewhere in between 150 to 200. I reckon. It's just my speculation spot. I think he's on lower because the length of longevity of his contract. I think he signed like a 8-year deal or something on 125 or something.
He's got 7 years left, hasn't he, or something stupid like that?
It was a 9-year contract.
Yeah, he's got ridiculous amount there.
Yeah,
let's check wages. Cole Palmer's wages.
Just the point I'm trying to make is, like, I really want Cole Palmer. I love the way he plays football. I love the ice cold part of him. It is something different. I totally agree with you, Stu. He could be the Cantona kind of effect on the team, and he actually fits the age bracket with experience.
Yeah,
which is very hard for us to find right now. Can you imagine a brand new front four of Premier League four of Cunha, Bruno, Cole Palmer, and obviously Sesko? It does sound good on paper. So 130 a week.
Yeah.
What's he on?
130 a week on a weekly basis, making it a total of 7 million annually. So, you know, and Bruno is on 18. So we save more than 11 millions or approximately 11 millions. season. So, coming from the Ineos perspective, they like to save a buck.
I mean, he would want 180 based on that, then, wouldn't he?
I would say somewhere in between 150 and 200.
Yeah, he probably
would be doable.
Yeah. When you're looking at 8 to 9 players coming in, Jarvis, that saving is just going to go straight on someone else's salary anyway. So even if we bring through some youngsters and put them on full-time contract, that's going to bump theirs up. It doesn't go as far as people think it does in football anymore. So, like you said, Obi, if he's on 30,000 and he gets a new contract because he goes first team, and it maybe goes 40,000, 50,000. There's 20 gone straight away a week. Do you see what I mean? I just think it just breaks it down.
The thing is about Palmer is if he came to United, you'd see a different Cole Palmer than what you're seeing at Chelsea right now. He is disinterested. He has plateaued. He'll go to the World Cup. He'll probably have a decent World Cup if he thinks he can get his move. I think he wants to come to us. He's a United fan. Everybody knows that. But it's got to be the right deal, and we've got to be able to do the right deal, as everyone has says.
Well, I want to know who you're bringing in. If I'm Cole Palmer, who are you bringing in with me?
He does. Yes, he's going to want to know that. Now, the papers have come out today and said about Tonali again. Would love to come to United. Apparently, he's that holding midfield player. Would Palmer and Tonali work together? Absolutely. Would Palmer, Tonali, and Mainu work together? Yeah, they would. I think they would. I think they'd work quite well together. But the problem with that is there's Mainu would have to change his game to enable him to work with Tonali, to enable him to work with Palmer. He'll have to change his game. And then what do you do if you bring Palmer in? Bruno moves on. Where'd you go with Dorgu? We've already established that Dorgu Dorgu's probably got a chance, I would imagine, of making our next match, which is when is it? Is it Chelsea our next game? I can't even remember.
No, Leeds. Monday night. Next month, not this Monday.
Yeah, Leeds
Monday. Yeah, so Dorgu's probably got a chance, I would imagine, of making the squad for that, surely.
Yeah, no, he was back on the grass 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he's got a chance of making that squad. So, ultimately, if you buy a player like Palmer to come in, it's who you put around him that will be, key to his performances.
It's funny, Stu, because you mentioned Tonali and Mainu. Now, if I was Palmer, my game, I don't care what's behind me because that's not my game. My game's forward passing, right? It's getting into the box.
Yeah.
It's more, do I see myself working with Sesko, Cunha, and Mbeumo, or Ahmad? Put Ahmad in there, or even Dorgu. Do I see the link up on them? What's their movement like? That's why I say, is Sesko the right striker for Palmer? That's a hit. That's a weird one. Mbeumo maybe, because he's forward running and he can pick a pass.
Palmer will deliver. That's one thing you're going to get from him. He will,
but he does spread it on the floor better, but not in the air. It's more on the floor.
But he'll deliver. He will deliver for Sesko. Yeah, look, I think it's going to be quite interesting. Could all be smoke screen, but yeah.
Well, like I said, it's the only one I can see feasible that makes sense to replace Bruno with for age and everything. It just makes sense.
So Tyrone, he was absolutely, but I don't know whether. Well, actually, I'm not really sure what's going on at City at the minute. Tyrone.
Pep didn't rate him, did he?
No, he didn't rate Cole Palmer, and he lit up at Chelsea. He rated Foden over Palmer, interestingly enough. And look at what's happened to Foden now. I think Foden's got to move in the summer, unless Pep goes, because Foden probably gets in the England squad by the absolute skin of his teeth.
I think if he doesn't start playing what's left, I don't think he can go in there.
There you go. See, I mean,
not that he shouldn't be. I don't think you can. No. But then again, he's putting in bloody Ben White, who's played 7 Premier League games all season.
I don't think he goes. I don't think Ben White goes to the World Cup.
It's hard to tell right now.
Now we know why, because Semenyo's come in. They've spent 65 million quid on Semenyo, and Semenyo's doing okay for City at the moment. So, So I don't know. I don't know what's going on at City, to be honest. It'll be just interesting to see. Obviously, we're only seeing where he is at Chelsea at the minute. We're only seeing what he's wanting to do at Chelsea at the minute. I always think
makes a good point there. His latest one, Palmer's work.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, but again, that might be
point.
different. But it might be different at United. We'll never know that until he either comes.
Bruno works hard because he has to do the running of the midfield. So if we got a midfield that's running, he shouldn't be running around as much.
I think you'll find it different if Tonali comes.
That's what I mean. If you're more substantial behind, you've got less.
You're going to see more of a controlled Bruno or a controlled whoever. I think if Tonali comes, you'll see a different one.
Yeah, it's a good comment from Tyrone, and also big up Bath Time. Good to see you, Darius. It's been a while. It's been a while, guys. I made a poll for you, and I want to know a little bit more what the devilish tacticos you guys in the chat. What's your opinion on Palmer? So I made a question for you guys, and I said, would you take Palmer as the Bruno replacement? Because this is where I think we are going with this. There's a 1% chance that we will sign Palmer if Bruno stays, but if Bruno leaves, I think there's a chance. I think this then we are looking at it. But so far on the poll, we have 65% of you who will take Cole Palmer, and 35% of you says no. So okay, why shouldn't we sign Cole Palmer? Because for me, I think someone mentioned it, his work rate. And also he's a different type of player. You know, Bruno, he likes to be the man behind the goals. And I think Cole Palmer likes to score the goals himself. So I think they are
better than Bruno for us.
Oh, okay. So, why?
Because exactly what you just said. Bruno wants to be the one behind the goals. He's always looking to be the hero, the supplier, and with that makes us very predictable. You don't need to mark anyone else. You just make them pass it back to Bruno and then drop deep as a defender to pick up his crosses. You think how many balls he puts into the box in a game? He might get one assist. What's he got? 16 assists now?
Bruno, yeah. But only 6 from open play.
He's probably put over 200 crosses into the box this season. From weird and wonderful angles. And that's where I say Cole Palmer likes to link that play. He'll play a diagonal curved ball onto Ahmad running down the wing so you can run in behind. He's more about linking the play and then getting into the box and finishing it. I have no issue with what Bruno does because obviously that's what wins us games. But Cole Palmer just adds a different aspect of linking the midfield. It is about almost not tiki-taka, but little 1-2s and that. Bruno doesn't really do that, does he? That's our Cunha, that's our Kobe.
Yeah.
We've seen the little touch here and there, but just generally that's not his game. He's not a give me a 1-2 and I'll whip it in hard and low behind the back line. I just see Palmer doing that. I think Cole Palmer's a better set piece taker than him, deliverer of a dead ball. When you look at our corners, actually Bruno hits the front man very, very regularly. It's actually Mbeumo that's set up most of our goals from set pieces. Otherwise, we would definitely have over 16 assists for just that alone. If Bruno was creating goals, we're the second highest goal scorers this season for the set piece. So it all adds up. But why wouldn't you get Palmer? It's another. Why would Chelsea sell him? Why would they not build around him? It's worrying. I think United and Chelsea walk in the same path, maybe just a little bit behind them currently. And it is a big gamble with a lot of money. And that's the main one, 150 million. It's the price tag. Even if you got him for
we don't know that yet. You know, they do. There's always like these outrageous transfers coming out in the beginning.
Yeah, there'll be no 150 million player again. That's done. You might get 105, you may get 110, but you're not getting 150.
But we said it's a World Cup year, Stu. The prices go up on World Cup year. If England are doing well, like you said, it's before the World Cup, because if they're doing well, you're paying well over the price.
But I don't think anyone will pay 150 million for a footballer again. I don't see it. I just don't see that happening. And the reason being, Liverpool would have paid 150 for Isak, and they didn't. They got him for 120. It just won't happen anymore. Those days are gone. For me, it's going to be one of two things for me in this particular thing. Manchester United can obviously sniff what's happening at Chelsea and the FA charge. They've still got 75 charges they've got to answer, and they're in big trouble over this. Bigger, probably as big as what City are in. If you believe what's been spouted again, that they're going to get a 60-point deduction. So I think they're in a real.
The Chelsea one's interesting because I had to explain this to someone who asked me this question about Chelsea and why they haven't had their points. During the purchase of Chelsea, anything that was held in that they could prove was under Abramovich, they weren't going to punish him. They weren't going to punish the club because if they wouldn't, the sale wouldn't have gone through because they're like, well, hang on, we're not being held accountable for someone who you've said take the club off of. So that's why it's all being held back. So if those charges, they have to be after Abramovich. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And he done a lot of dodgy things right just before he sold the club. And that's where they haven't even caught up to them yet.
But we know Tonali and his consortium, they are shooting in every direction. They are trying a new thing that's never been done before, spending all this money, and they have an investor group and they would want to have their money back at one time, we all know. So maybe this is part of Chelsea's plan. How much did they pay for Cole Palmer? Was it 45 million or something? 40 millions?
Yeah,
it wasn't about 45.
Yeah. So again, they will make a profit. Let's say if they sell him for 100, they will have a 60 million profit on him. So, I think maybe they are banking on stuff like this. Because I don't think we have seen stage 2 of this Tonali madness.
Oh no, they're fucked. Chelsea are fucked. I don't care what Chelsea are fucked. I mean, they've absolutely just totally tried to circumvent anything to stay within the limits, and they're not there. I mean, they are really, really fucked. So I'm not saying it'd be a fire sale at Chelsea in the summer, but I think probably Racina will go, which means they're going to have to find a new manager, which means they're either sailing in the same seas as we are. Let's be honest, if we don't go to Carrick, or they're going to try and stick with Racina and hopefully that Racina will get it through. But they're going to have to, what Chelsea did, the experiment that they did has backfired on them terribly, really, really badly. And they're going to have to make a decision. And if he doesn't want to be there, he will find a way, because players do, of manipulating himself out of it. Isak did. They've all done it. Players have done it. Mark Gay, he didn't. And he got a move to City out of it.
And Danny's just said about Enzo. And now if you've heard what Enzo said when he went on international duty, he criticised it.
Yeah.
So that's another one. That's another reason not to sell Cole Palmer, because you might have to get rid of Enzo this year.
Well, I think Enzo goes anyway.
They need the money, but they're running out of these youth products to sell now. They sold too many too soon.
Yeah, oh no, they're in real trouble. And if they want to do something with the squad, they've got to sell. They're going to have to sell players to do something with the squad. So, look, is Cole Palmer the answer? Who knows? None of us know. I still think there's a player in Carlos Baleba. 90% of people completely disagree with me. I don't. I think there's a player in Carlos Baleba, and I think you'd see a different Baleba at Manchester United. I wholeheartedly believe it. I think you'll see a different Cole Palmer at Manchester United. But for me, it all boils down to who's coming in the top job, who is going to be the manager of Manchester United in the summer. Is it going to be Carrick? Is it going to be somebody else? And if it's somebody else, what does he want? What does this manager want? We can sit here and speculate, which is what we do, and we love it, and talk, but we don't know what this gaffer wants. It may well be that he's looking at players that nobody wants in the chat. Nobody wants whoever. It doesn't really matter. It could well be that he sees Cole Palmer, he sees Baleba, he sees Berger, he sees Anderson, he sees Lukic, he sees whoever as his ideal players that we don't even consider, well, might not consider would be good enough for us. So, look, some of these players who we're linked with, could they do any worse? No, they just couldn't. They just couldn't do any worse. The best deal that I think will probably end up happening with Manchester United won't be Bruno. It'll actually be Lemons. And if you watch this performance, by the way, for Belgium the other day, and he say he was, actually, I think he's got his second or third cap. You know, he's likely to be Belgium's number one. He'll be going to the World Cup. You know, Belgium have got Courtois and they've got Lemons. Well, I mean, wow, that is something Brazil have been wrestling with Alisson and Ederson. Belgium have got it. You know, we need that at our, as a club. We need players like this that are going to push and push and push other players. You know, as much as we like certain players within the group, 90% of them have been complacent because who's going to come in and push them?
Yep.
The biggest problem we've had, and one of the issues, with Cunha coming in and now really pushing for a start. You can't drop. Well, who knows? We've had fucking almost a month off. Fuck knows what we're going to be like a week on Monday. God only knows. I mean, or 2 weeks on Monday, whenever it is. Fuck knows. Yeah, it's a 12th, isn't it? 2 weeks.
We get a whole week of training where everyone else goes straight back to their FA Cup matches. We're actually got that whole weekend through training.
No, I know, because he'll give players time off again, you know.
I can already picture it. I can picture it, you know, all these players coming in their like Bermuda shorts and Hawaiian shirts, walking in their loafers.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
And one of the, and at least for the first time in years, Arsenal are doing it right. People are having a pop at, 6 Arsenal players withdrew the squad from injury. Brilliant. That's
we cannot complain. We cannot complain.
Using your fucking brains. We've got FA Cup. We lost to City. We've got FA Cup. And then we've got an important league match. You know you're going to the World Cup squad. You know you're going to the World Cup. You don't. You just pull out.
It's probably fine for most of the players because then they will be fully rested for the World Cup. They will be injury free.
There are
not taking any risks.
Yeah.
I think they are in a good place to be honest.
Yeah,
please go on.
Sorry, there are clubs that know what they're doing, and this is the thing about modern day football and where we're so far behind other football clubs. You know, and if we've got to go and we've got to get a player like Cole Palmer to come in to push Bruno Fernandes that extra yard again, or to push Mbeumo, or to push Cunha, or to push Dorgu, to push Sesko, and so be it. It's about fucking time that we did. We've had it for years and years and years.
100%, because that's the thing with Mainu. Mainu's not being pushed. He will not get better. Everyone keeps going on about Mainu. He is so young. He still has no one to learn off once Casemiro has gone. Ugarte is the biggest pile of shit we bought for a while. In the way he plays, you're not learning from that guy, are you? You're not. There's nothing to take away from that.
You're not.
So he will not get better. So that's why if you want to go with a Walton and an Anderson or a Tonali and a Bruno G, that benefits Mainu. That benefits Toby Collier. That benefit, all those midfielders. Sesko, he needs to be challenged up front. And Bumo's not a real challenge to him. They're different kind of players. He's not a striker.
He said that himself. I need challenging.
Dorgu needs a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the chat all night have been going. We need a centre-back because we can't trust two or three of our centre-backs to be fit all season now. So we need an out-and-out centre-back, an adult, not a child, an adult. We need an adult midfielder and we need an adult striker. It's pinnacle in a team to have those leaders.
We know. Let's be honest. We all know next season we would love our starting centre halves to be Martinez and De Ligt. We know that. If you could keep them fit for for the whole season, that's what we would want. Okay, we know this. And sign Maguire and have him as a backup. All right, you know.
Are we doing the Maguire debate right away? I wanted to finish the Palmer debate before we.
No, I'm not doing the
Maguire. Yeah.
I'm just saying. And then we need a good right back. We all know that. All three of us know that, and the whole chat know. The devilish tactic is no. We need a good right back. Do we get the lad in from Brentford, or do we going to get the cheaper version, Lewis Skelly, out of Arsenal for what, 10, 15 mil, perhaps, maybe 20 for Skelly, something like that. We all know. We all know. We need to go up and get Lewis Hall or Bueno from Wolves at left. Either of those would be superb for us. Lewis Hall probably preferable, but I'll go Bueno because I think he'd be cheaper. But we know we need these players. My point is we know we need them. So you got Mazzari back up to Lewis Skelly, or sorry, what's the guy from Sunderland, the fullback? You like him, Jarvis? Is it Sunderland or Brentford? I'm thinking. The right back. You like him?
Brentford's got a good right back, but I like Diaz from West Ham.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the types of things that we need to do, right? And we know that as well. So from that point of view, if we are going to be serious this summer and we start looking at that areas, and then we say we do, lads, get in Cole Palmer, and as Tyrone says, we keep Bruno for 2 years. And Cole Palmer comes in and says, and we do something with that. Can we move Mainu out the system and put Bruno as an 8 and put Palmer as a 10? Could you put?
No. We tried the number 8, Bruno. No. Can't
Hold
do
on,
that.
I'm not finished yet. Can you put Palmer as a 8 and put Bruno as a 10? Could you play 2 8s or 2 10s? Can you? My point is, with Palmer and Bruno, you could probably mix and match quite nicely. Or are you more sensible and you don't get Palmer and you get what Mark was alluding to? You bring in and Tonali. You go to Newcastle and try and do a deal for both of them. We know how good Tonali and Guimaraes are together. We know that what they can offer together. You could then keep Bruno in the 10 if you went and did that. We all know that. But unfortunately, that means you're stifling Mainu, as you were alluding to, Mark. So there is a variety of different ways that you can solve this conundrum, but it's going to cost us money. So we've got to move a good few players out, and we all know who those are.
I know Jarvis wants to move on, but you just
I just have a final question when it comes to this debate.
I have a question as well, and that's why I just want to ask.
Shoot.
Talk about if Bruno was to go, who captains Man United?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Do you know what? That would be so far down my thought process. I would leave that at the very end. In fact,
you've got to look who we brought in, who captains Man United. If I had to say, Stu, you're a manager tomorrow, no Bruno, no Casemiro, Harry Maguire failed under the captaincy, who do you give that armband to?
Wouldn't bother me. I'd give it to Lamans. Wouldn't bother me. Skippers for me, not interested. I've been playing the game for 50 years now, 51 years potentially, but definitely 50 years. And I've never been interested in what my skipper's got to say whatsoever. I take no notice of him. Not interested, because I'm concentrating on what I should be doing, and that is making sure that my area of the pitch is defended to the best of my ability. That's what I'm interested in.
We're talking about Manchester United here. The
I'm also bawling out at everybody in and around me, including the skipper. Now, I am a skipper. You know I am. And I don't care. I don't care about an armband. I don't care about anything. No
one. As old as us care about it. But if you're 18, 19, 20, the skipper means something.
That's the problem. And here's the thing. I love the Italian way.
He's everything like that.
I love the Italian way. I love the Italian way. And I tell you why I love the Italian way. They'll give it to the oldest player. The end. You're the oldest, you're captain. Brilliant. Go ahead and do it.
Well, we always used to do that. That was where we had a club captain and a pitch captain. You had the club captain who was the oldest player. Yeah. And then
everything else with a captain, we can't happy birthday, Ben. We can't, for me, that would be quite far down. I'm not dismantling the aspect of what, the thought process of what a captain is, but you know as well as I do, Mark, me, you and Jarvis are on the same pitch, right? There's a captain, and there's Mick Ruby, and there's Danny B in there, and there's Darius. We're all bollocking each other. Fuck the captain.
Yeah, but those days are gone because people don't talk like that on a pitch anymore. You know that when you still play with the younger ones, they can't handle it. But okay, I'll rephrase it. Who do you want to see lead Manchester United out of the players that you could select in the starting 11?
Again,
you've got to have someone at the front, Stu. It's in the FA rule. Who leads out the team?
Pick somebody, Senna Lamans. Go ahead, son. He's the coolest, calmest cat we've got. You won't fluster that guy.
I've got to be honest, Courtois does it, so I can imagine that. But
you won't fluster that guy if you shoved a rocket right by his arse. You won't fluster that guy.
But by the way, Stu, did you hear the new Senna Lamans song? That was out.
No, I've not had it.
Okay, so if you haven't, you just search it up, you will find it. It's quite good. I like it. It's catchy. It's catchy.
Okay.
Lamans.
So he would be the one I wanted. But we've got, the problem is, leadership starts right from the very top. And when you've got weak leaders right at the very top, everything else is just inconsequential. It really is.
It's in Bumo, but because I don't see anyone else as a leader on that pitch, I think he's got leadership qualities out there, but he's also too soon to the club. It's only within 1 year you give him the armband. But Jarvis, who would you pick?
Well, it's hard to say because everything, when it comes to a leader, it's from us, from the outside, we just perceive them by the looks of them, in a way. You're big, you're tough, you're rugged, you have a beard, you sound strong, but what is a leader, for me? And do you need a mentor? Do you need a guy who can guide you through your day? Do you need someone to help you, someone to kick your ass when you need, or do you just need a guy to be the mouthpiece, the prolonged mouthpiece on the pitch from the coach?
Let me counter something, gents. Then, right? We clearly have had no leaders in our squad for years. Then, because I could reel off a list of Garnacho, Sancho, Rashford, Mainu, everybody crying like little girls because they didn't get their way. A real leader, a real captain, gets them, grabs them, shoves them in the fucking boot room, and locks the door. They can kick and scream as much as they like and come out, go in a child and come out a man. That's not what's happening. Go home a child and come back in the following day as a man. It doesn't happen. We haven't got men. So it just doesn't work for us. My Schmeichel in disguise now. Although I love Schmeichel, Tom. Yeah, he's my all-time favourite Premier League goalkeeper. I would just point that out. I think he's absolutely
in disguise.
So that's sort of why I asked the question, because whoever we bring in midfield, I feel they need to be leaders. I feel we need to bring that.
Yes, I don't disagree with that.
Because you're right. We haven't had it for 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Probably Herrera was the last leader I saw in midfield in his own way, but he wasn't a captain. Yeah, and then I'm trying to think before that, because before Herrera, you were going back to then Carrick when Herrera came in, wasn't it? With straight after Carrick was Herrera.
Story is talking about it. The last real skipper, maybe Roy Keane, I suppose, but really the last real skipper for me was Robbo. And that was what a captain meant, and we just don't have that anymore.
I didn't know. You've got Wayne Rooney. He learned from Roy Keane. Like he was very similar to Roy Keane. I'll do it myself. Then I'll lead us to the thing. I love that because, but
no,
he learned from all those leaders. You're right, Stu, about still having them around the club. So now we don't have them around the club. Bruno wants to leave, and every manager keeps going about what a leader he is. He leads everyone. We only have Harry Maguire, who, okay, we've extended today. But in general, it's not enough, is it? It's not enough. So bringing in Cole Palmer, he's got the experience, not a leader. I don't think.
No, you're not bringing in a leader in Cole Palmer. You're not bringing in a leader. No. Of course not.
So you go in a left back or a right back, not leaders. They have to be through the middle. You would say Martinez, you would say De Ligt, always injured. So they're not getting a captaincy armband off any manager. You're just not, because you can't guarantee they're going to give you 30 games. So you've got to buy a captain as well. Just saying. That's one reason to keep Bruno over, because we can't replace the bloody captain.
Well, is Bruno the best suited captain? That's another question. But guys, I just wanna wrap this debate up. I think it was a good one, and I want to show you a picture that Mick just sent me of tonight's panel.
Great, isn't it?
So there you have Burn and Ernie and the Cookie Monster. So
Ernie, that's me. Absolutely brilliant. Love it.
Cookie. Thank you, Mick. Thank you,
Love
Mick.
it, Mick. Absolutely brilliant.
So guys, a lot of opinions, and this is what worries me a little bit, because someone mentioned Dallow as the captain, others mentioned Maguire. I saw Lisha's name, I saw the Ligt's name. So we have a lot of possibilities when it comes to the captaincy, but no clear leader in the squad. So I think you are both right, and I think we need a leader, and we have to sign him this summer and think ahead. I just want to end the Cole Palmer debate with a last question, because as we know, if Bruno leaves, we will have to bring in a number 10. So, and we know Ineos, they like Premier League proven. This is what we are trying to go for. And Cole Palmer is the only one currently that makes a little bit sense, because we're not signing Phil Foden, we're not signing Martin Ødegaard, we're not signing Szoboszlai. Those are out of the picture. We might sign Morgan Rogers, but he's more of is he a 10 or is he a left winger?
He plays all the way across that 3, but England want to play him as a 10 in that 10 role. He's the main one looking to start in the 10 role ahead of Palmer, funny enough.
Yeah, and we have Morgan Gibbs-White. Maybe honorable mentions could be someone like Emil Smith-Rowe and Justin Kluivert. I don't know, but they haven't had great seasons either. They had good seasons last season. Kluivert scored 12 goals this season. He have been poor, only 2 goals. So we are looking at replacing Bruno with Gibbs-White, maybe Morgan Rogers or Palmer. That's the 3 Premier League proven alternatives that's out there for me. I don't know if you have anyone else.
Totally different kind of players, all 3 of them to each other.
Yeah, and that's the worry. Where are we going? That's the thing, and this is why I feel this Palmer rumor. It's been up a couple of times. It won't go away, and now it came back again. But I think we are looking at it for real.
Tielemans is the only like for like.
He's like 33, isn't he now? 33, 34.
I don't know how old he is, but he's the only one you could push. Pretty much like.
Yeah, Villa got him on a 3. He'd been released because he was out of contract. No one would give him one. They got him on a 3.
Got him from Leicester, and he's been since.
Danny says Fernandes.
It's interesting that when you look at Villa's decline over this period, it's been because there's been no Tielemans and there's been no McGinn. John McGinn suddenly comes back. What's happened?
We beat
Villa are starting to pick up points again. Villa are starting to pick up wins again because these players are back. Now, Fergie wanted McGinn back in the day. We never got him for whatever reason, but he didn't get him. My point is that there are certain players, whether you like them or not, we think, fucking Tielemans, you must be off your tree, blah, 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 blah. They fit into a system and a way that suits them. And McGinn suits Villa perfectly, absolutely perfectly. Tielemans suits Villa perfectly. Now, would he suit us? No, but he's as good, he's as close to potentially the way that Bruno plays his game in terms of he's a good crosser of the ball, he's a good finisher, good penalty taker, not great in the air, not a great tackler, which Bruno isn't, but he's kind of similar.
I get what you're saying.
I think he's old, by the way. I don't think he's any good for us, but when you're looking at who would it be, it'd have to be Tielemans. But there's no point going for him, by the way, and I totally agree with that. I was just making that point.
But my point in the beginning is very limited pot of players where we are who we are picking from. So that's why I'm a little bit worried. Personally, I'm not a fan of Palmer.
The other ones are gone. The other ones have gone who suit Bruno. So Florian Wirtz would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Bruno had gone last year, we maybe could have challenged him for Wirtz. We wouldn't have got him because they were Premier League champions, right? So
yeah, we wouldn't have got Wirtz. Yeah.
But you could see him doing a better job at United than he's done at Liverpool. I could anyway. Then I look at other 10s. I feel they're like I said earlier. I feel they're going out the game. I'd rather buy a second striker and play 2 strikers.
Well, here's a question: why have we got to replace Bruno like for like? Why can't we get something completely different in?
If you want to like for like, it's Cole Palmer. If it's not Cole Palmer, maybe we do something different, and that's where you go back to what you said, Stu. We need a manager in because we need to know: does he want 2 strikers? Does he want a 10? Does he want to play 3 behind 1, or does he want to play 4-3-3 and have Mbumo, Cunha, and Sesko? Then you don't have a 10 because you have a hard-working, fluid midfield, i.e., Aston Villa, Newcastle, Man City. How many other teams do you want to keep going where they have that free? Liverpool, Fulham. It's all about work engine. So while we've had the international break, I've done some half-an-hour videos looking at traits that we need to bring in, that we are missing from our team. We have no diamond. We're not fast. We can't move the ball quick enough. So we don't need names. We need ability, but we've been lacking. Because all we ever do is go back to the class of 92 or basically until Alex Ferguson quit and going like for like. Didn't matter about Jason Park. Who the hell was Jason Park when we signed him?
Yeah,
there's my point.
He ticked this box, this box, this box.
Yeah.
That's what we need to sign.
It's the same with Ander Herrera. We knew of him, but we didn't know of him. That makes sense. But he ticked every box, and we all would have Ander Herrera back tomorrow if he was 23 and still playing. Every single one of it would take. So
you know what you need at a left back and right back. What we don't have, we got no one who can get up and down the pitch and support. Right? We midfield. Casemiro's got to go. We need a holding midfielder, but we need to make a choice. Do we want a double pivot? Do we want 2 6s? Do we want 2 8s with a 10? What do we want? Do we want a Bruno G and Tonali, where I don't think either is a defensive midfielder. I think they work together to defend. Do you see what I mean? Whereas a Walton and an Anderson, and Anderson's not really an 8. Walton's definitely not an 8. Walton's a exactly the same kind of player as Kobe Mainu. So if you buy a Walton, then you are literally freezing out Mainu. They link up well for the under 19s, 21s when they've all played together back then. But that's different kind of football. So I think we need to start looking at traits, and we need to get rid of our director of football and get someone who actually knows what they are.
Oh, we certainly need to do. Yeah, we certainly need to get rid of our director. I mean, Jamie's made a point whether or not they could be under scrutiny again with all this City malarkey, don't we? So,
big up, guys. By the way, I just want to say thank you to Saeed for the raids. All the newcomers, welcome to the Tactical Devils. If this is your first time, we are currently having the Cole Palmer debate, and we are talking a little bit about leaders and the lack of leaders in the squad. And I saw an interesting question here coming in from Tom Porter and saying, are there any players under 25 with leadership qualities that we could look at? If you guys have any suggestions, I'm thinking maybe Tonali 25.
They are close to the 24, 25 mark.
Yeah.
That's somebody breaks into the team at like 18, 19, then they've done 6-7 years in the Premier League. Absolutely they can lead. They've got 7 years of experience.
It's an interesting question. I'll say that. I don't know. Everybody's got their own viewpoint of what a leader is, and the biggest problem is everybody responds differently to what they consider to be a leader. Back in the Roy Keane days, the Brian Robson days, it was anger and aggression, but the players responded to anger and aggression. They won't respond to that today. We know that. We've seen it. Players don't like
anger and aggression, Stu. I same as you. I literally grew up. That's my era. That is my youth growing up with that Roy Keane coming through that team. As I left school to adult football, anger and aggression, yes, but those players were like, he's got my back. But I know if I step out, I'm getting one from him.
Exactly, and that's how it should be.
but he was the manager on the pitch. There was no difference between Roy Keane and Alex Ferguson, hence the reason they clashed.
Yeah, but therein lies the problem we got with modernism in football, which I've been complaining about for the last 5 fucking years. I'm fed up with modernism in football. You can't grow as a unit and you can't grow as an individual if you start crying at the slightest little thing that might or may not have upset you. Oh, no, I didn't like that. Don't like the way you spoke to me. Fuck off. Who cares? You don't like the way I speak to you. You want to be a first-team player for Manchester United. You want adulation week in, week out. You want to read about yourself in the press week in, week out. Grow up and do what you're paid to do, and that is to win football matches. People always say about Roy Keane.
David Beckham did all of that, didn't they?
People always say about Roy Keane when he comes out, even today, he says, well, that's what he's paid to do. Damn fucking straight. That is what you're paid to do. Me and Jarvis are paid to run our businesses. Mark, you're paid to do what you do. Everyone is paid to do their own particular skill set. And so when Roy Keane says, well, you should be saving that, that's what he's paid to do, he's absolutely right. So we talk about assists, we talk about this, we talk about that, we talk about a player being worth 150 million quid. There's no way in a million years you could ever argue with me that a player's worth that amount of money, because I don't fucking agree with it. There's no way in a million years that a player's worth that. That when you look at the types of players that they want 60, 70, 80, 90 million for, A, there'll be no selling value, and B, there's no shirt sales in them. There's no merchandising in them. There's no image rights in them anymore. Those players are gone. Ronaldo, I'm not talking about Cristiano, I'm talking about R9.
Yeah.
People would still, if you could get a pair of R9 originals, which had just come back, I believe. I think they're making a remake of them. Wow, it'd be brilliant. The original Predators.
Who you're talking about, aren't you?
Yeah. The original Predators, Ronaldinho's boots. Something that actually meant something to someone. Nothing means anything anymore. These players give away a pair of football boots. They haven't even broken into the fucking first team yet. So you need players breaking into the first team. You need players that you can rely on straight away to walk through that door and make a difference. And we're not doing it. There's not enough of those players out there. I said weeks ago, there's no Mavericks anymore. Those players don't exist. The managers don't exist, by the way. I'll point that out.
Stu, talking about Mavericks, we heard today a player as Harry Maguire most likely has a contract renewal, talking about 2027 plus another year extension. So again, Man United are stalemate. We are not moving forward when it comes to my opinion. I know you are a big fan of Harry Maguire, as I said in the intro, but for me, I believe it's a wrong choice. We should try to get rid of as many of our centre backs as possible. Talking about Licha, De Ligt, and Maguire, because I think they're holding us back at the moment. When we are going into 2 games a week, we will see a lot of these injuries come back, also including Luke Shaw. Then we almost have 4 players constantly injured. I can't see us getting through next season without centre-backs. And why do we extend Harry Maguire? We can see it. His injuries comes more often and closer in between. And I think we are moving in the wrong direction. Even though he will take a pay cut, for me, I think Man United should say goodbye. Thank him for his fantastic job so far, but if we extend for 2 more years, we would see Harry Maguire for 9 years. And let's be honest, he's been a calamity for most of his years at the club. He's been good in the last couple of seasons, but we know he can't play with a high line. He has no recovery pace. He's very limited as a footballer. He can work in the back 3, but then he has to play on one of the sides. He can't play the central guy. So again, why do we do this? Why are we re-signing another player? And I know, Stu, you like Harry Maguire really well, and
love him.
You probably like his extension, but for me, it has nothing against Harry Maguire. It's about his age, it's his play profile, and his wages. I think we can do better for all those criterias. And also, when we have De Ligt and Licha, and Luke Shaw into all of this. 3 players that we know will be injured for months and months next season. What are we thinking about? What are we trying to do?
So first of all, nobody else can head the ball for a start. That's the first thing. Nobody can head the ball. Secondly, I think it'll be 1+1 option. So he'll extend on his option now, and it'll be another option to extend. So I think he'll only do another 12 months, and I think it's purely and simply as backup. So he's not going to play. He's going to be there as backup. So he'll play all cup competitions, early rounds of the FA Cup, and he'll play Carabao Cup, etc. Maybe some easier games. But the problem we've got is, if we want to spend all our money in the midfield and our 2 fullbacks, we can't afford a centre half. We just can't. We can't afford a centre half. And I think that's the biggest problem. I think the biggest issue for us is we can't afford it. I remember June last year, and we were talking about Anana, and I made the point, hold on, there's no way we would have budgeted for a goalkeeper, and we didn't. And that's why we had to go in. Luckily, we got a brilliant goalkeeper in Lamans. But that's why we had to go under 20 million to pick up a goalkeeper. We're not going to get the centre half that we want for easy money. We're not going to get an Anderson out of Fulham, which would be brilliant for us. We're not going to get Van Hecker, which would be brilliant for us. We're not going to get these centre halves for less than 50, 60 million.
Van der Ven, he's the one we could get.
Well, we could get Van der Ven. I mean, I quite like Van der Ven.
He's injury prone.
But he's injury prone, yeah. So we're in a
situation. We know the Bournemouth centre back Senesi is out of contract after the season. Yeah,
and then we got the Notts Forest guy we're interested in.
Yeah, Murillo.
We could try and get Munoz out of Palace for right back. There are players out there, but it's money. It's money. Our midfield needs fixing desperately. So for me, you sign him up, you reduce his salary, you go with Leacher, and you go with De Ligt. If De Ligt plays again, De Ligt might not even play again yet. We don't know what we're getting with them. And if you can't, and it doesn't work out for whatever reason, you try in January and get somebody. But there's a reason you're saying you sign Maguire, and that's because their focus and attention is going to be middle of the park first, probably right back, probably left back, and then see what player sales we get.
Yeah, I know that's a sensible thing, but why do we buy into this Ineos Glazers agenda all the time? Because we know it's all about saving a buck. We know they don't have the time. They don't want to go in and invest and start building a strong team. And we are not a strong team. At the moment, our defense is okay, but we know how fragile we are because of these injuries. We know De Ligt with his back injury. We know Luke Shaw. He's hardly played a game in 10 years. And we have Leacher constantly out. And then we have Maguire picking up injuries.
Out of the 4 players, list me your the 4 players, Shaw, Martinez, De Ligt, and Maguire.
Yeah.
Who's your most likely to start a match and not be injured?
Maguire.
You've just answered your own question.
Well, but for me, if I was running this club, I would be quick. I would say goodbye to all of them. Try to get rid, because I know it's a problem. It's a problem that's waiting ahead. And my job, as let's say I was the CEO, I would think ahead and try to prevent and plug as many holes as possible.
But that's what they've done.
We know this club is not working like this. When we sacked Amorim, they didn't know what to do.
The problem is,
I think me and Stu see this exactly the same way. Harry Maguire has to say, and the reasons being, I said we need leaders. Harry Maguire is a leader in the back line. So we need that for Aidan Heaven. We need that for Lenny Euro, Tyro Fredrickson, anyone else that comes through from the youth team. We have to have them. Okay. So he'll be your backup. He's your Johnny Evans. There's always been someone that stays in our back line. Okay. He is the best of a bad situation, because De Ligt, his career could be over. From what we were hearing a few weeks back, his career could be over.
I mean,
he could walk. You don't get any money. You get nothing. He retires. His back's gone. He could be in a wheelchair, like getting treatment like bloody Rio Ferdinand. We don't know. He could have been mistreated for years. Martinez, he had a fucking tight calf and was out for 2 months. That is an ACL continuous injury that will not go away, because what it's done, it's pulled on his calf muscles, separating them slightly. He's now getting that. We've all had it. If you play football, the worst cramp knot you get between the 2 calf muscles, and you cannot get rid of it. You can't massage it. You can't do anything. It just comes back constantly. So Harry Maguire is the best of a bad situation to hang on to, because I've got to try and move on an injury-prone left back, an injury-prone centre back, and potentially someone walks away. But he at least has knowledge to pass on to Lenny Euro. He at least has good knowledge to pass on about the Premier League, about English football. He has everything that we would want to bring in.
I mean, I think Yoro will play. I think Yoro will probably get more game time next year.
But it's 2 20-year-olds.
Yeah,
Heaven and Euro is 2 20-year-olds.
Yeah, I think he'll get game time next year, Yoro. But it's unfortunately, because for the last 4 years we haven't dealt with the team as a whole. We're now dealing with areas. So we dealt with the front 4, so to speak, front 3 at least. We dealt with the goalkeeper. We're now about to deal with the midfield. Then we'll deal with the defence. And that's, I think, what they're doing. And that's fine. Got no issue with that. But there's a reason for it. You only need to go back to our CEO. What did City do? Bought a complete new defence. Then they bought a new midfield. Then they bought a new strike force. That's what City have done. And we seem to be following suit with what they're doing because of Barada. Now, if we're sensible, which we're not, but if we are, okay, we look at it and we remove the likes of Mason Mount, Xerxes, Agate, Shaw, if we can move these players plus other peripheral players, then maybe we could get a shitload of money in. We know we're saving big salary with Sancho. We know we're saving big salary with Casemiro. We're likely to be saving big salary from Rashford, because I think Rashford sells anyway, whether he goes to Barcelona or not. I think he sells. I think we'll easily get 30 million for him. So we're saving big money there. If we can get 25, 30 million in for Xerxes, 30 million in for Mount, for fucking hell. I don't know if you'll get 30 million for Mount, actually. I don't think you get a lot for him, to be honest.
Don't forget, we don't need to bring too much in because of the changes in the rules. So
yeah, correct. But if we
600 million, so
well, I think we need to move those out anyway. I really do. I think we need to move Agate out.
Hoyland's money's coming.
Hoyland's money's coming. That's another 40. So if we can do something of this, then potentially, Jarvis, you might be able to go and get your centre half, whoever that may be. And we know there's some great.
Jarvis is right. Senesi is a must. A try to sign on a free.
If we could get him on a free,
Konate.
If we can get Senesi on a free, I didn't realise he was on a free. Then we should be going balls out for him. We should be doing that deal now.
Yeah, Senesi and Konate are out of contract.
Yeah, well, we should be doing Senesi now. We'd leave Konate where he is, but we should be doing that now. And I agree with that, Jarvis. And then you remove maybe Delict, Jarvis. Maybe Delict can't play again. Maybe we know this, and we're signing, as I say, Maguire as that backup, and maybe we are going in for Senesi. I doubt it. I'm making it sound like a well-run football club there, which we're not. But maybe
I'm liking on the edges thing here. Sign Cole Palmer, give him Mount 7 jersey, so we give it from one Chelsea player to another Chelsea player. And that's the downside to that. But I can see Cole Palmer wearing the United 7, can't you? I can actually see that.
I mean, the biggest thing about Maguire,
quick thing, Stu, I just want to say to everybody before we continue this debate, I made a poll for you guys. Was it a wise move? Is it a wise move to extend Harry Maguire's contract? So get your votes in, yes or no. I want to know the chat's take on it. Please continue, Stu.
The biggest thing about Maguire, about anything else, he has proven that he has got the character to withstand a knockout blow. And we haven't got any of that. No one in our club could do could go through what Maguire went through and come back and not be bitter about it. Nobody, zero. There isn't a player in that locker room apart from Maguire that can do that. So you do need that type of person around you. But ultimately, for me, I'm happy with it. I think it's 1+1 for me. If I was Maguire, I'd be doing my coaching badges at United. I'd and work.
He's already done his level 2. Right?
Yeah,
they've all done that.
And do my coaching badges and see if I can work with Fletcher and the under-18s, something along those lines. But that's what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do.
By the way, we are on 55 likes, 53 likes, guys. So I see 220 people watching on X and YouTube. So please do us a favor and smash the like and subscribe if this is your first time on the Tactical Devils. And you will notice that I won't nag you about hitting those likes all the time, but I will do it every 30 minutes or so. So guys, do me a favor and smash the like. It will be appreciated from the channel. See a lot of people have tuned in, and I don't know. We have to sign at least 2 centre backs for me if I would be happy. And I know Jarle Malmin also said we can't sell all of them, and I know it's not a realistic take, but from my point of view, I think we have been pushing this in front of us, this problem in front of us for so long.
Can I just point out the left back? We
might do anything about it.
We might have a left back already, replacement. Harry Amas coming back to the club.
No, Guerreiro from is on a free transfer. The German guy.
But we've got Harry Amas. He's already signed to the club and he's out in the Championship playing constantly and could be promoted. Do we want to do another James Garner and let a player come up through promotion and then we sell into another Premier League team and he tears us apart when we come up against him, like a Dean Henderson, like everyone else? We do that a lot when actually he can walk in and take Luke Shaw's spot because he can be fit to play. And we've got Dorgu. So that's two choices at left back. So the left back sort of covered off, whether it works or not. We can stick with Dalu and Mazraoui. We can do it. Hopefully someone comes in and starts picking Mazraoui over Dalot. Please, someone do it.
I think Diego.
And then, like you say, you've got 2 young centre backs. A Senesi comes in, a Harry Maguire. That's 4 centre backs. Then you spent no money on that back line, but you've still brought in some players. The most important signing, and there's not one person watching this video, whether they're watching it live or watching it back, that doesn't say the most important signing is Casemiro replacement. It's not a Kobe Mainoo replacement. It's not a Bruno replacement, who we all feel probably still needs competition or tweaking. I still think we need a striker, an out-and-out different kind of striker, a beast. But I feel that we've got some good youngsters that could help us out next year. I do. From the 21s who need to be given that choice. Or do you want to sit on the bench and learn?
I'd bring in Diego Leon for sure. I think Carrick already said.
I forgot about him, Stu. I forgot about him.
Jamie mentioned it. Yeah, I think Leon is. That's probably.
He did a really good interview talking about how he's had to learn about English football and everything. He did a really good interview. I was impressed with the wording, whether it was interpreted that way or those were his actual words.
And Carrick's also said the same. He's learning the tactical side of the game. So I think you probably could see Leon maybe. He's a big lad.
Can you imagine him and Cunha coming down that left?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think he'd be a good player for us. There could be some money opens up, but if we don't get our midfield right first and foremost, it won't matter what we do at centre half. Unfortunately,
would you 2 signings. If your whole summer window, you blew your transfer budget on 2 central midfielders, would you be happy?
Well, you shouldn't be doing that anyway.
But we don't know how much money we've got. But say we haven't got as much as we think we are, but we're sure we're going to get fed that very soon. United have got no money again.
From what I've from what I've heard about the stadium, that's going to be completely funded separately. So we haven't got to worry about the stadium costs. So that's going to come in with investors, and that's great because you would want to invest. If you're an investor, that's what you invest in. If you're a property developer, a property investor, you're
Absolutely.
chucking money at Manchester United. Absolutely great for us, that is, because they know the return on that investment will be huge.
20 hotels at 100 and something, 200 million each. It's paid for, isn't it? So,
you know, Gary Neville, I don't know this for sure, but I bet you he's already bought some land, or he's invested.
He already owns some of it. He already owns a load of that land.
Yeah, and he'll be reinvesting
in
it. And he'll be reinvesting in it as well. You know he will, because that's what he does. So that's absolutely fine. So money-wise, we've got a lot that we're going to be saving. We're going to have at least 100 million, I would say, come in on player sales. That includes 40 million from Napoli, which we know is coming in, because the Napoli chairman's already come out and said it. That's happening. So we know that. You know,
well, he's hit his targets, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's hit his targets to trigger that they have to buy. So
we know that's happening. So from that point of view, we're okay. So we just got to make sure that, in my opinion, you buy a top end midfielder and a medium price midfielder. That's what you do. You spend maybe 150 max on two great midfielders that can go into the first team right from the whistle, like Cunha, like Mbuemo, and just go, no problem. We're just going to rip up the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think we definitely need a left back, Jarvis. I'm with you. I think left back takes priority over centre half for me. So I think we must get a left back in. Now, if we get Diego Leon in and he plays brilliant, I quite like Bruno, as you know, from Wolves.
Or Harry Amos.
Well, I don't think Hamas will cut it. I don't think Hamas will cut it personally yet. I've seen him, and he was in and out of the Norwich team, wasn't he, at the very beginning? It was Norwich he was at, wasn't it?
No,
Watford.
Wherever he was in and out at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
he
got
at Norwich. He was at Norwich, and now he's at not Coventry, is it?
No, it's not Coventry.
Sheffield Wednesday. He was online at Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah.
Now he's at Norwich,
and now he's come up. It was Collier who done Norwich and somewhere else, wasn't it?
Anyway, so I think Hamas will develop into a good player, but he's not a starter. So I don't think he's a starter, and I don't think Leon's a starter. Now you could revert Dorgo back, but clearly what we've all realised, rather too late, that Dorgo at left back is nowhere near as effective as Dorgo higher up the pitch. So we know that. So there's no argument.
You mean in the position we bought him from?
Yes. So we know ideally what position Dorgo can play. So we might need to get in a left back, and that's going to cost us. Now, could we? I don't know. Could we rely on Mazzari? I love Mazzari anyway, so I got no issue there. And Dallo, okay. If you
think you could for another season.
If you have to,
great.
If you make the other three solid, we're sort of all right there, aren't we?
Yeah. And so I think ultimately then we've got to start looking at whatever we do before we do anything else, we secure our midfield too, whoever they're going to be. You get them secured ASAP. Okay. Yeah. And then you can start looking around. Now, centre halves, I agree with you, Senesi, I think, from Bournemouth on a free, that we should be all over that like a rash. In fact, he should be signing a pre-contract with us now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
we also been linked to this guy, the Bundesliga centre-back. What's his name? The Leipzig guy.
Well, if we're linked to him, Jarvis, and he's out of contract, we can sign him.
What's his name again?
So that's a Vavel deal then.
Yeah. So there are some centre backs linked to us, but I think
I would rather go. I would rather go Senesi, Premier League proven. Come straight in, no pissing about. Anderson, straight in, no pissing about.
I would actually, if I could pick someone, I would actually go for a guy like Mavropanos in West Ham.
West Ham, I like him.
I like him. I think he's a good guy. And also the Crystal Palace centre-back Lacroix. I think both of them have something. I think they are big, they're strong, Premier League proven, really good headers. They look like leaders.
Any of those, apart from the Leipzig guy, any of those I'd be happy with. No problem.
Yeah.
But Senesi at a free, we should be doing that deal all day long. If we're not, then Carrick doesn't rate him or the new gaffer doesn't rate him. Who knows? But I would do it. I didn't know Senesi was on free.
Yeah.
That's just dumb.
There aren't many this year. Last year, there was a hell of a lot. But
if we're not looking at that, that's just dumb.
Mm.
I mean, it really is dumb. If we're not looking at Senesi, that's dumb. I do like Lacroix, by the way, or Lacroix. I do like him.
Yeah,
he was good when he came back. He came back against us, didn't he? Scored.
What I will say is, when you hear rumours of United looking at anyone outside of the Premier League, outside of England, sorry, it's probably a bullshit story, because we can sign them now. It's a done deal. Remember, you can sign a free transfer from January from outside of your own league. That's why, you know, we see players signing in January, but they're leaving at the end of the season. So as long as they're not in your league, you can do that deal straight away. So it's not true 9 times out of 10. Yeah, you can do a pre-contract. So they're done and they walk in the door on the first day, 1st of January, 1st of July. They walk through the door. So when you get linked with that, don't expect it to be true if they're on a free. That is anything else.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. So
it's the easiest deal to do in football. Thanks to old Bosman, it's the easiest deal to do in football.
It is.
Yeah. Interesting debate, guys. I saw a couple of people in the chat mentioning the midfielder, and we know we have been linked in the recent days with both Tonali and Elliot Anderson. From a I don't know, a journalist perspective, there are some rumors saying that we could actually go for both of them. So do you think is it even possible? We're talking about maybe 105 million for Tonali, and going according to the Nottingham Forest, they are talking about 100 million. So we are talking about almost splashing 200 millions on those two.
You're not getting 100 million if they get relegated.
Yeah, we know Spurs are going down, so Forest are hanging on by a thread, but I think Spurs will go down. Yeah,
look, I don't. We're not getting Anderson. I think he's off to City, and I think that's pretty much a done deal. I'll be amazed if we were in the conversation with Anderson.
Okay,
and I think Tonali,
Anderson gets the pick of clubs. He's got the pick of clubs, and he will make his decision before he goes. Because City will turn around and say, we want you and we're not paying post World Cup prices for you. So make it happen.
And Rodri has probably made that even easier by saying he wants to go to Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to... I mean, Madrid will just be wasting the money on Rodri.
No, but if you know Rodri's out, there's a place for you to take. But if Rodri's still at the club, there's no place for Anderson.
Such a shame, yeah, such a shame.
And the Fabrizio Romano report came out that Manchester United have Sandro Tonali very high on their shortlist for June, as reported. The player would be open to the move, and Elliot Anderson, another name on the shortlist, but Manchester City are still ahead with very serious interest. So Manchester City and Arsenal are both informed on the Tonali situation. So we could end up with none of them and go signed Baleba.
Well, City
lazy journalism.
Yeah, City won't go for Tonali or Anderson. They won't be able to. So that'll be that. Arsenal, what are they going to do with Tonali?
They've just bought Subamendi and they've got Declan Rice. So
what are you going to do with
Subamendi has worked, and they could win the title. And
so we're the only realistic option for Tonali. I don't think Liverpool are an option for him. We're the only realistic option for him.
No,
Anderson will end up in the blue with City. If he doesn't, and he comes to us, that'll be an absolute miracle. It really will be an absolute miracle. So for me, Rob Always United, you absolute legend. So if it was for me, Tonali's probably our more realistic option. I think Wharton ends up at Liverpool. Personally, I think that's that. So I don't think we'll get Wharton.
That's why I say we've got to go for the double header and go for both Bruno G and Tonali. That's what I see. That's exactly what I see, Stu. The other two are going somewhere else.
Yeah,
you could just put it up there, remote high on United's list. They're high on everyone's fucking list.
Well, Anderson, we all know Anderson was playing his last game for Forest, and on the last day of the season. We all know that. Everybody knows that. Anderson knows it.
But we also know about Walton, right? We know about Walton. We know about Tonali because of his agent. We know Bruno. Newcastle will have to sell if they're not in the Champions League.
They've got to.
We know Aston Villa will have to sell if they don't make Champions League.
Yeah.
Chelsea are going to have to sell. We could go. What about Enzo?
Anyway, yeah. No.
What about Enzo Fernandes?
He's fucking off to Madrid, isn't he? Real Madrid want him.
Thank you so much, Rob. Always United for the 5 with the Tactical Devils membership. And by the way, new members, you will also get the access to the special membership emojis, so you can spam the chat with my face, Marx's face, Stu's face, and Carrick, and all of them. Even Harry Maguire is there. So thank you so much, Rob. Thank you.
He's managed to dig some glasses out at last.
I just hide behind nothing.
It's taken me for fucking ever as well, I tell you. Woo. Rob, you are the first recipient this year of the glasses, so well done.
Big up,
by the way, big Harry Maguire is winning the poll by quite a lot.
That's nice. That's nice. I just want to read out. Daniel Brain received a membership. Irish Pit Terrier. That's Danny B, 40-year-old virgin. Mark Webster and Unicorn Sky received the free memberships from Rob.
Legend, Rob.
Thank you, legend. Thank you. Okay, guys. So where were we ending with this?
Jamie knows something about Wharton. So, Jamie, if you want to put in the group what you know about Wharton, that'd be great. It's agents from Manchester, so we know something. Jamie Wayne.
Stu, coming from a personal point of view,
yes,
me, Elliot Anderson, I think he's an incredible player. But for me, Tonali would be the one to sign. But it depends, where are we going with our football? Are we going on transitional football? Are we sitting back? Are we trying to play out from the back, or are we playing direct to the number 10 or the striker? So for me, I don't know. If we look at it sensible, do you think Sandro Tonali would fit in this Carrick system? Because, by the way, I think we are keeping Carrick because we are keeping Maguire. It's the only sensible way, because keeping Maguire without Carrick wouldn't make sense, because we know if we bring in, let's say, Nagelsmann, more front foot, high line type of manager, why would we keep Maguire? That would be dumb.
Ancelotti's a huge fan of Maguire. you know that, don't you? He is. He loves him. It's his top.
Well, without getting Ancelotti, Stu, forget about it.
I've just had a text, from my mate's grandma's great-granddad, who's Brazilian, and he says Ancelotti is coming to us.
All right.
He's seen his plane ticket after the World Cup to Manchester. No, all joking apart. Look, the Carrick debate is one for another night. Because that is a big.
No, I'm just mentioning it, as I said.
It's a big debate, because if we, and I'm just going to very quickly segue to one thing. If we are not interviewing managers and we're leaving it to chance with Carrick, we've got no hope as a club. We've got zero hope. There's just nothing left. You've got nothing to look forward to or anything. Because if you do not interview serious managers for this role, you may as well just forget it, because in 3 years' time, Carrick was a fucking useless appointment, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but Steve, don't forget, you can still do it the other way around. You appoint that manager and they're shit, and they go, we should have stuck with Carrick. You cannot win. We will not win.
But do you know what? I'd rather us do that. I'd rather us roll the fucking dice, because at this point in time, we're not rolling the dice. We're just not rolling any dice again. We're not serious again. So, to me, anyway, going back to the Tonali Anderson debate, it's Tonali for me anyway. I think Tonali.
Yeah, but my question was, how would he fit into this Carrick system? how would he fit into a midfield with Carrick? Because we know we are
holding midfielder
immune playing out from the back. We can't find the central midfielders.
He will play the 6. He will play as the 6 for sure. Now at
And
Newcastle,
suddenly we will start building up from the back.
Yes, he will.
Is
play
this what Carrick's plan? He will progress.
He will be because ultimately they switch between the two. It's either Guimaraes who does it, or it's
Tonali. They play double pivot. They play double. I call it double 8s. I don't.
Well, they do. So either one of them will go deep and take it and grow it. They do the same at Wolves. Actually, it's Anderson and Gomez. If you look at the way Wolves play, either one of them will take it deep, and the other one will move into an 8. So that's how they do it. At Liverpool, they do it slightly different. Same at City. They do it slightly different. City, they give it to Rodri, and Rodri progresses it. So, Tonali will progress it for us for sure. Does he fit into Carrick's system? He's going to fucking have to. He's going to have to find a way to play. This is again the thing with lazy footballers who don't like doing that. So I'm not going to do it. You've got to find.
We don't know what Carrick's system is at Manchester United. He hasn't signed any players, so he's playing with what he's got, not who he's signed.
Honestly, we do know. We know
all of us.
I've seen enough. I know what Carrick is bringing.
Yeah, but
very solid.
All of us could fit into a way of playing because we want to play football. So you can fit into a way of playing. It isn't hard to fit into a way of playing in a team at all. I don't know why people think it is, because it just isn't. It's using your brain.
It's not about how hard it is. It's whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah. Oh, have you got the legs for it? Have you got this? Have you got that for it? So, yeah. Anyway, the Carrick debate and the manager debate is one for another time for me. But
yeah, well,
I don't think it's more about the tactical debate. Tonali does not work with Kobe Mainoo and Bruno for me. I don't see that working. I think if you sign Tonali, you probably have to sign an Adam Wharton to play alongside him, because Wharton will do more of the defense, like you said about a Bruno G. If you can't, I'm expecting us not to be able to sign both from Newcastle, right? That's why I'm not saying. Obviously, if you could sign them both, then like you say, they just slot straight into our midfield. That's fine. And then Bruno Fernandes can just stay in the other half. He can play in the 10 and he can play there, because a bit like Joel Linton, he can just run around and do whatever he wants to do. The other two have got it covered.
If you keep Bruno, you've got to phase him out anyway.
Yeah.
If you keep Bruno Fernandes for next season, you've got to phase him out.
Yeah, his replacement comes in the following season.
Yeah, you've got to bring players in to phase him out. You have to phase him out. We can't just let him go. You've got to phase him out. Or you let him go and cut the umbilical cord. You've got to do one or two with that.
I'm not happy with us being linked to like Wolves and things. I'm sorry. Like, I know we got their best player in Cunha. I'm sorry, Gomez is not the next player we take out of a relegation for the team. You
good
don't
player.
see
Really good player.
Maybe he is, but we can't be doing that unless you're getting him for 10, 15 million. He's getting relegated. It took me 4 visits till I finally saw his game. But he was. Do you know when he was? Do you know when he started to turn his season around? Old Trafford, one apiece. He was immense that game. Maybe, but I'd go for Human. I've said that all along as our defensive midfielder, and then maybe a Tonali alongside a Human. I think that's a good balance thing.
Me and Jarvis saw Hillman against Bodo, and we were not impressed. And here's the thing, and Jarvis won't mind me saying this because it's true. Sporting battered Bodo Glimt, and Hillman was wank. He was fucking terrible. We don't know why, do we, Jarvis? But he was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something, Mark. This is no word of a lie. Sporting spanked Bodo all over the park from minute 1 to minute 130.
In that second leg, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can say the same about Edison. Everyone was going on about Edison at Atalanta for the last 3 years, and now apparently he's fallen off a cliff, but he's been denied a transfer. So you do fall off a cliff. So maybe this guy wants out of the club and he's not being allowed to leave. And he's just
this is my point about Baleba. This is why Baleba, what you don't have a stellar season, drop off a cliff, and then not have a stellar season again. Camavinga, Tchouaméni, all dropped off a cliff, and then brilliantly because they got their dream move to Real Madrid. There are players out there. Yes, he did actually. I forgot about that. He did, Enrique. Oh, I think we all forget about that actually, Jamie.
Yeah, we do.
But there are players who do drop off a cliff. But Hjulmand, he was just, whether he was having a bad night or not, but me and Jarvis didn't even see him. I don't think we talked about him once, did we, pal? Which is unusual because Jarvis likes him.
And by the way, that Dutch guy that you plays, I think he plays for Ajax with Steel. What's his name?
Are you on about Schmidt? The little Tibbler?
Schmidt.
With the king.
Yeah.
He was great against Norway.
The next Frank de Jong. You know, if you need a ball playing number 6, bring him in.
Yeah.
It takes us back to you saying like Sander Berge, height, power.
Bad game.
Don't get me started.
No.
Even Jarvis said Sander Berge had a bad game the other night, didn't you, pal?
He did.
He didn't have a great game, but really good for us. Look, whatever we do, whatever we still think about what we deem to be the right move, they'll do something completely different. These morons, they'll do something completely different to what we would like, you know. And that's the key element to it. You see, Jarvis is right about when he talks about centre-halves. We know this. We know he's right, but we know that we can't really afford it. And so does Jarvis, really. But, you know, we can't really
that's why I get so wind up, because this club can't plan ahead. That's what I was saying with this Amorim thing. You know, okay, he got the sack after last year's fantastic season. How could it ever happen that we would end with us giving him the sack? You know, and when we sacked him, we didn't have anyone in mind or any replacement ready. You know, and this is how the club works. We are like headless chickens. We walk around, happy days, and suddenly lightning strikes. And no one knows what to do because we don't plan ahead. And we know this is the problem. Man United. You have Mr. Potato Head and Vita Bix and all of these guys in charge.
You do know something, though, ladies and gentlemen, don't you? If we actually get to Champions League football, you do realise Amorim will be responsible for 50% of that. You just go figure.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. But okay, yeah.
True. At the moment, he's responsible for 60% of it because Carrick hasn't played enough games. Amorim got us on a run of...
Amorim got us the fourth, Stu. We've moved now in third. That's all we've done is climb one spot.
One defeat in, what was it, 10 or 11 or 2 defeats and 11, something like that. So the foundation was laid. But look, that doesn't matter. That's semantics anyway, isn't it? I'm being a little bit pedantic facetious by mentioning it. But it's
Jurgen Klopp won the league for Liverpool last year because the manager didn't change anything. Changed it this year, and look what happened now.
Jarvis, what did I say at the summer? I told you Liverpool will win the league, and they wouldn't need a manager. Me and you, Mark, and Jarvis, the three of us could have gone there, picked the same starting 11, and put our fucking feet up for 38 games, and they still would have won the league. That's just how it was. Klopp left them with a league-winning team. Now, whatever happens between now and the summer, okay, whether or not we get to the Champions League or not, which I think 4 wins does it anyway, doesn't it? Let's be honest. 4 wins.
We're 1 foot in it because we're still likely to get the 5th place because of the other team.
But watch Villa now. Villa have started to tick up again, haven't they? Which is good. So, it'll be interesting to see. I did see Jamie. I think for the Q&A, I got a question. That'll be in a Q&A, Jamie. We'll be looking at that in. Oh, fucking hell, it's 10 to 11.
Let's start with the Q&A, guys. It's been a fantastic debate.
Great show. Who won the Harry Maguire debate, old friend? Who just out of interest?
Huh?
Did Maguire? Did Maguire in the poll? What did Maguire get?
Yeah. Let's check the poll, guys. Is it a wise decision to extend Maguire's contract? And 72% of you guys agree with Stu, Wally, and not with me. But what the hell do I know? So,
okay, guys,
let's get going with the Q&A. Guys, if this is your first time watching on the Tactical Devils, at the end of the show, we always do the Q&A. So get your questions in. We won't to answer them right away. We will start them, and Stu will come to them after the 10-15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I don't know how many questions we got, but get your questions in. You can ask us about anything. You know, you can ask about Stu's favorite perfume, or
I've got one as well.
And what's my favorite player, or why is Mark always so happy, smiling? You know,
please make them as awkward as possible, because Jarvis came on my show the other day and he was loving it way too much, being in the chat asking really awkward questions.
Yes, I did. Okay, let's play the intro. Get your questions in.
Welcome all to the Q&A. Let me move the DJ out of his thing and push you over. Before we start quickly, we've said a couple of times tonight, please go over to Tactical Devils United. We put the link in the chat earlier. That's our backup channel. With what happened to Rich, me and Jarvis don't want to take any chances whatsoever. And if our main channel was taken down, then we've got a backup channel. We need you to all subscribe to that as well, please. It just helps me and Jarvis out, just in case the unthinkable happens.
And the United lens. And the United lens.
Have you got a backup channel as well?
No, my channel's not getting taken down.
Yeah,
well, that Rich thought that as well. Bless him. I don't know what's happened with Rich.
So I just want to start with this one quickly to Jarle Malmin and say, Jarvis, will you be live tomorrow for the Norway game and maybe the Denmark-Sweden game to see who gets in the World Cup? Well, if I have the time, I have a very, very busy schedule, but you know, keep your eyes out for Tactical Devils, and I will try to be there and do the watch along for Norway's game against Switzerland, the friendly. And I think it's an early kickoff, 5:45 maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but no, it will be at the same time as the Denmark-Sweden game. So yeah, maybe I will watch them at the same time and
you
follow
mean
both
Sweden,
games.
Poland?
Sweden,
Poland, and Denmark.
Yeah. You pronounce it.
Oh, are these the finals? Are they? Are these the finals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Jarle comes in to say Norway's game starts 1800. That's 6 o'clock Norwegian Central European time. So 5 p.m. UK time.
5 p.m. UK time.
Okay. Yeah. I wanna. Yeah. Okay. I will think about it, Jarle, and maybe I'll do the watch.
We'll have to have a look. Yeah, we'll have to have a look. Okay, let's get the questions in, and Darius has got the first one. And he says, does anyone think there might be a major rethink of players like Bruno going to Saudi Arabia now? Obviously, I think he's alluding to what's happening in the Middle East at this point in time.
Yeah, but it's a good question. We don't know what will happen. You know, it could be long war going on. So
they won't just get rid of it because it's too much money involved for the sports washing. So they'll just go play in a different country.
Yes, I think they will. I think the world economy is going to crash anyway because of that lunatic that is presiding over America at this point in time. Unless the world
that's fake news.
Unless the world can find a way of circumventing what's going on, then who knows? Good question. I'm with Mark on that one. I think somewhere like China or Australia or somewhere along those lines, they will go and they'll play their game. China. That's what I think.
I got a question for the panel.
Yeah.
What do you think Sean's going to set us for our challenge? Have you seen?
No.
He's put a message out on YouTube.
Oh, was he?
Another challenge incoming or something like that, tagging me, us and you in it. I've just seen it on my thing. So we got another challenge coming. We've done the crossbar. Maybe it'll be Stu's first touch.
Well, you know, if you don't know, United versus Everybody had a challenge for us, the crossbar challenge, and Stu,
there it is. He's got some old pegs.
Yeah, they're the old Adidas.
Yeah,
they're the ones he has behind him on stream.
Yeah, he's got the old Predators there. Yeah,
I need to get a new pair.
I hope it's not keepy uppies because I couldn't do a keepy uppie to save my life. I never bothered practicing or anything like that.
I only did it when I was running with the ball. Someone trying to kick me at the same time.
I never did it. So if it's keepy uppies, I'm in trouble. Right, let's go on with the Q&As. We've got 15 minutes, so let's go. I hope Rashford doesn't come back and the madness. It's a very quick one. Do we want Rashford back? Yes or no, Jarvis?
No.
No, but I could see it happening. Or left winger. Or left
No, for me as well. And the madness, it's a trio of no's.
Yeah.
Tom Porter says, we tackled this one already. Are there any players under 25 with leadership qualities? If you rewind back, Tom, we did have a small debate on that one earlier. Great question, though. Difficult one to answer. I don't actually think we came with a definitive, if I remember rightly. I'm Titanium says, good to see you, Bilal, by the way. Love the picture. Are you doing? Oh, so we've done this as well. Are you doing a Norway watch along? So we've had that answered.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Very quick one. Between today and our next game, which April the 12th, myself and Jarvis, we will do a call-in show. We'll give you guys plenty of notice, and we'll all be streaming from our next show onwards to our backup channel, Tactical United. So please go and subscribe to that. Mark, make sure you subscribe to that as well, please. Here we go again. Bilal, he's on fire, Jarvis. Jarvis, you like Shea Lacey. Should you go out on loan next season?
For me, it depends on this preseason. All the time when we see these young players come in, they burst with adrenaline, and we can see them, playing a level above their level. They can't do it. And if Shea Lacey puts in a good preseason, I would keep him, because I know we will have Champions League next season. We will play 2 games a week, maybe more. There will be a place for him to develop in Man United. And for me, as far as I can see, I think he's a special talent. He's a special talent. And, bringing him on the last 10, 15, 20 minutes in every other game, I think that's enough to keep his development going. And I would keep him. I would actually keep him.
Yeah, so for me, I think he's the closest to what I would call a Manchester United footballer we've had for a while. And, a guy who comes on and has 3 shots in a single game is a United player for me. No fear, just gets on with it. I like a player like that. I'm with Jarvis on this one. You can send players out on loan, but how many actually develop? And I'm going to tell you one, and it's Amad Diallo. He's the only one that's been away on loan that I can think of and made an impact in the first team. If there are any others, let me know. But I think really a proper impact over the past few years is Amad Diallo.
Name me another player that's been given a chance.
Well, that's true, and that is a fair point, and I can't. So that's why I said it's a fair point. Mark, here's one for you. Yolam Amin says, could Dorgu be back for the Leeds game?
Well, we're going to go, 24 days without hearing from Michael Carrick, wasn't it? That's what it was from last game to the Leeds game. He was back on the grass, so there's a good chance. Now, the problem you got is, what's he going to do to get match fit? not a lot. So maybe you see him for the last 10, 15 minutes of the Leeds game. But let's be fair, all that time Luke Shaw could have spent eating, so maybe he starts.
Well, Luke Shaw, for once, doesn't appear to be going to the World Cup, does he? So
no, exactly. So now he might be out for the rest of the season.
He might be out for the rest of the season now, as Jarvis is normally correct, has a World Cup, manages to get in the squad somehow, and then he's injured or dead for the following season. So maybe he doesn't come back. Maybe we don't see him. Maybe he's chucked his toys out the pram. Who knows? Thank you for that, Yolam. I mean, good question. Jarvis, I'm going to give you
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're not going to like this one. You're going to have to do that. The CRM says, what about Nagelsmann? He's good friends with Vivell.
What did I say?
Yes, and it makes sense. It makes sense. And you know, what we know by now is all of these managers we were linked to are not coming to us. So the only ones left is Nagelsmann and Carrick. So, you know, for me, yeah, I would take him. I would take Nagelsmann. I think he's a good manager. But again, you know, he needs a proper backing. And are we bringing him in? You know, he's the German manager. I think his contract is still have 3 years left on his contract. So they are counting on him for another Euros in a couple of years. So I don't think it can't be. It can't be done. I think it will be too difficult for us to get a manager like him. So for now, I think it will be Carrick. But I would take Nagelsmann. I would do that.
Wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. I just don't rate Nagelsmann. Not for me. Not because of anything that I don't like about him as a person. I just think we're going down the Amorim, the Ten Hag route. We're just going down the wrong route with Nagelsmann for me.
I think he's a lot closer to Thomas Tuchel than you realise, Stu. I really do.
I would agree with that. But then, you know, would you have gone with Hansi Flick?
Yes.
Joachim Löw. You know, people can say what they like about Joachim Löw, but he was a hell of a manager for Germany for 13 years or something along those lines. So for me, the CRM, there's only one manager for the job, and that is Mr. Carlo Ancelotti. And yes, I know he's not coming before you all have a go at me, but he's the one. He is.
Why is he not? Why is he not? Everyone keeps saying that. They gave him and Tuchel new contracts because if they fail, they get the maximum amount of money for getting him out of that contract to take somewhere else.
Brazil aren't great. Brazil aren't great, though, are they? When you're starting up front with Richarlison, you've got an issue, haven't you? So,
but yeah, they got no strikers, and they were shit against France.
Weren't they just? Yeah. Jamie's got a question. Stuart got a question. What's a smoke screen, or the definition of it? Lying about what we will get and what we actually going to end up with is exactly what the club is doing. They're very good at the old smoke screen. Yeah, absolutely right. We are as disingenuous as a football club that we've ever been, and it's sad. It's sickening and it's sad, Jamie. To be honest, to be agreeing with everything you've written, but you're not wrong, my friend. And the Devilish Tacticos know that. Jarvis and myself and Mark, we all know that. So we need honesty. We need truth. I would prefer the club, and I think the fans would prefer if the club actually came out and said, gentlemen, ladies, we've only got 100 million and this is why. We'll do what we can with it. Fine. We know what we're up against, but we just remain quiet all the time. We're trying to do deals behind the scenes. But like I'll always say to you, Jamie, and I'll always say to the Devilish Tacticos, and I work in the media. I am a journalist. Don't believe anything until a player is signed. Okay, that's all I would say. I love the question, though, Jamie. Thank you for that, mate. Good, honest.
It's very upsetting, isn't it, Stu? That we used to. We all grew up where Man United were linked with a player. They went, "Oh, we like that," and they just went, "Yeah, here's the money, bang, yeah, it's a done deal." That's how I grew up. That was Manchester United in the transfer market. Now, Jamie's he's smoking, literally.
Yeah.
Watch the hand. Watch your hand. Watch the hand. Watch this hand. You know, that's how we work. But we don't even need to do it. The media does it for us.
Yeah. Manchester United are the kings of misdirection. Jamie, you are doing what Jarvis does. Jarvis puts a snooze in his mouth, and that's where he gets it. So you are doing exactly.
Yes.
Good question here from Bilal. I quite like this. I do like questions like this now and again. And Bilal would want to know, what did you want to become as a child, Mark? Footballer.
Now, well, to be fair, it was footballer or join the army, and I did both, so I was all right.
That's all right then. Jarvis.
Something as original as a police officer.
Funny you should mention that, because when I was in nursery, my earliest memory of nursery was
nursery nurse.
Well, apart from her, yeah, she was. Anyway, we had a policeman's uniform, and if I didn't get the policeman's uniform, I wasn't happy. So I wanted to be a police officer as well.
Problem was, as sooner around, pull it off in a mankini and just leave the hat on.
Now it's yes. We won't talk about the mankini, but yes, lovely question. I do like questions like that. Jarvis, one for you, very quickly. We have covered this, Nicky, by the way, but we'll mention it again. My question is, what do you think of Bruno G?
Big up, Nicky, and thank you for the question. Bruno Guimaraes, is that how you pronounce his name? I think he's a fantastic player, and I rated him highly when he played in France. And you know, I wanted us to sign him at that time. Unfortunately, we know our scouting system at the time weren't up for it, so we didn't go for a player like him. And I don't know if it's a little bit too late for him right now. He's turning 29 in September.
He's older.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
So, well, what the heck? I rate him. I think we should go sign him. Him and Tonali. I would be happy.
I think he makes Tonali the better player. I don't think it's so much they work around. I think he's the one who makes Tonali look better.
Yeah, it's almost. I agree. I think Newcastle dropped off because of Guimaraes, just like Aston Villa with Tielemans and
when he got injured. Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment. I like Bruno Guimaraes as well. We've covered that one. Here's one for you, Mark. Question. We got 2 questions to go, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a brilliant question, and I don't think there's an easy answer, by the way, Mark. So that's why I've given it to you.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned it earlier, didn't I? I said about Collier. So we've tried our best to get Collier out on loan, and he's just had one of those seasons where knock after knock, and we've brought him back. Where was he? West Brom, barely played any games, and then he went out and came straight back within days. Was it one game and back?
To Hull?
I can't remember, because I think he literally was there weeks and straight back to us. It's a reoccurrence. I really like Collier. He has a lot to offer. I don't really know what his position is. That's probably his biggest problem. He's not a holding midfielder, he's not attacking midfielder, he's not a 10. Jesus, he played for us at left back, didn't he? Do you remember under 10 half? He played him at left back.
Yeah.
But I do like it. He's tenacious. He could easily be the next Anderson or Walton. He could easily do that, but we have to wait and see. A bit like what Jarvis said earlier. Does he get through pre-season without injuries? That's what it comes down to.
I love Toby Collier. I think he's a fantastic midfielder. Because he's intelligent in his movement. He knows how to roam and find space.
Always on the half turns, Jarvis. Always on the half turn.
Well, half turns, half smurns. It's not about half turning anything. You play the ball back to where it came from and move up and open up new space. That's how modern football is. Half turn takes too long of a time when you progress. So
did you hear about the half turn? Actually, did you hear that interview with Gary Neville and Kyle Walker About
yeah. When he talked about Pep,
Pep doesn't want you to take it on the half turn. He wants to
but
let
that's
it
not
run
just Pep.
across
The
you.
Serbia is the same
faster.
way. A lot of managers are like
Managers
this
are the
right
same
now.
way, yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I've never heard such stupid instruction in my life. Because if you actually got a good first touch on the half turn, it's still running across you anyway. It's in your stride. You take it in your stride. That hasn't changed.
Wow.
I found it really weird. I was like, there's a difference, like Jarvis, you receiving it on your back foot and turning. But if you're opening your body up,
it's modernism.
It's something else opening up your body and let the ball run past you and
don't forget, gents. Don't forget, gents. Brian Clough would bollock you if there was a 5-yard pass on and you tried to take on a player.
Yeah.
Even if you got round him, he'd bollock you because he wanted you to play that way. So, good question, CRM. Thank you for that, Jarvis.
I hope we do. Can I just say, I hope we do. He's got a lot to offer.
Yeah. Any truth in the Lewis Skelly rumours? We don't know about truth, but what's your thoughts on Lewis Skelly? That's probably a better question.
Jarvis?
First of all, I can't see why Arsenal want to sell him.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Because now with the new rules coming in, not FFP, so you don't have to rely on selling all your youngsters.
He's been problematic at Arsenal.
Okay, so it's all right. I didn't know that.
Does that answer your question?
It appears to be he's got an issue. Yes, I rumbled that one out as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily means it's a problem. It's a problem coming to us.
No,
a lot of these youngsters, they grow when they move out of their home area, to say it like that. But, I don't know. As a player, I think it's good, but I would sign other players than him.
Where would you play him, Jarvis?
A little bit older.
Because my understanding is the falling out is where he wants to play and where the manager wants to play him is two different positions.
I think he's a terrific player.
But where would you play him?
I'd play him either left back or right back and tell him to shut the fuck up and do it.
That's what I mean. He wants to play centre midfield.
Well, that's his problem.
But that's where that's his position. They've moved him to left back. It's no different to how they've moved Saka from a left back to a fucking right winger.
Yeah,
who Casemiro scored more goals than this season.
If he wants to play there, we can accommodate him. Yeah, I would rather have someone with versatility than not. So I like him. I think he's a great footballer, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm hoping there is some truth in the rumours because I quite like him. I've got no issues.
Okay.
Great question here from Steph, by the way. I'm going to put my 2 pence in first on this one. And Steph says, who can head the ball well in both boxes to fill Casemiro's shoes?
Harry Maguire.
Apart from Harry Maguire. I don't think there is. That's the question is correct. And the answer is, I don't think there is.
He's a ghost. He's an absolute ghost, Casemiro. No one picks him up. He just comes in. He's done it for years.
I don't know anybody in the Premier League, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Jarvis, all devilish tacticos that scored 7 or 8 goals this season, about 6 of them with their head.
5. Yeah, it's 5. 5 out of 7 with his head. Assisted by Bruno Fernandes.
I don't know anybody that can do what Casemiro does in both boxes with his head. I really don't. I'm sorry.
His timing is phenomenal. His time, he hasn't got a big jump.
Wirtz isn't doing it. McAllister ain't doing it. Rodri isn't doing it. Foden ain't doing it. Rice isn't doing it. Zubameta isn't. I mean, you tell me. You tell me who is doing it. I don't. Steph, it's a brilliant question, and the answer is I don't know.
I'm going to say Saliba.
I don't even think Saliba. To an extent, but I don't think anyone can do it. I just don't believe there is.
Thomas Soucek. Thomas Soucek, the only midfielder I know who can do it.
Tarkowski.
No.
How many midfielders? Yeah, midfielders.
Thomas
Soucek. If it was midfielders, then absolutely not. I can't.
But Soucek is touch and go, Jarvis. Probably Soucek.
Yeah.
Guys, that kind of wraps up the Q&A. To be honest, we had anything in? Lewis Skelly, we've done. I've covered 2 or 3 questions from Bilal, 2 or 3 questions from CRM. I've covered pretty much them all, I think. Oh no, one more. Sorry, Debassi. I apologise. I didn't see this one. How do you see Fofana from Lyon as a left winger?
He's been linked with Liverpool for many a year, hasn't he?
He's been linked with everybody.
Yeah.
He was very quiet when we played them last season in the Europa League. Very quiet.
He's been linked by everybody. Yeah.
But I can't sit here and say I watched Lyon games this season, but from the 2 games we played against them, I think it was quiet.
This is Wesley Fofana, yeah.
I think he's a little bit too small, for the Premier League. I don't think he has the physicality.
That's why I asked. Yeah, that's what Wesley Fofana.
I don't think he's.
Well, I have to say, I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I only see him that much.
Me too. Thank you, Debassi, for that one. Jarvis, I'm going to hand you back over to close the show.
Yeah, we can do this one. Does the panel not agree having a proper goalkeeper is one of the reasons that we're in third place? Obviously. If Inanna was here, no way we would be third. So do a round the panel, Stu. Praise laments.
It's just a yes or no answer to me, and it's a yes. It's a very straightforward, simple question to answer. Yes.
Yeah.
Just go watch his highlights on the USA game.
He was brilliant. He was brilliant.
What I will say, can everyone please stop going on about his amazing save where he spreads himself? Because go back and have a look.
He's actually a bad miss.
Shit himself because he done this. He puts his arms out and he blocks it, Stu, with his hand. Yeah, and his face, he wasn't like this. He went, shit.
Yeah, I thought it was a bad miss.
He's looking the other way and he saves it with his right. He's looking to his left.
I would have buried that on my left peg.
Yeah. What a strong hand. Because he doesn't swipe at it. It's literally the strength of his arm. But it goes 20, 30 yards away. He hit it that hard. But it's the head movement and with almost like a smile on his face, like, we've all been there when someone's hit a shot and it's just turning. But
I think David De Gea goes to Juventus. I think David De Gea goes to Juventus in the summer.
Really?
Yeah, there were some rumors about him leaving Fiorentina, but we will see.
He gets moved to Juventus. They give him to Juventus.
That's good for him. That's good for him.
Great move for him. Great move for him.
It's been a great show, guys. And by the way, at the end of the show, I just want to show you the crossbar challenge from yours truly. I don't know if you already seen this, but let's just play it once more.
Hey, this is Jarvis. I'm doing the crossbar challenge. 1 try, right foot.
Bang.
Take 72.
Lovely. Well done, Jarvis. Superb.
Oh, good.
Super.
Can I just point out?
Excellent.
Take 72. No, that was my first take. I'm not even joking.
I don't know what he's planning, but I'm not looking forward to his keeping up at all.
Really I'm looking forward to the challenge from Sean, United versus everybody. Yes, guys, it's been a great show. A lot of people tuned in. Thank you, Saeed, for the raid. Thank you so much. You are a legend, Saeed. You are a legend. Thank you. And I also want to thank Rob, Always United, for the gifted 5 Tactical Devils memberships. So thank you so much, Rob. You're also a legend. At the end of the show, I just want to wrap up and give Mark a chance to promote his channel.
Yep.
Yeah. Please come on over to United Lens if you like the good, honest takes like I give on here. No fluff, no. I don't go with the media bias. Don't trust the media, do I, Stu? But currently, because of the lull, I've just done a series on what United need. No players, no names really put in it, but about the traits that we need in certain areas of the pitch. So there's a 4-part series I put together of that called Coach's Voice. But yeah, come on over, subscribe, like some of the videos. It's just an extended version of what you get on here. But free videos a week, and It don't cost you anything to pop your head in and have a chat.
It doesn't. Just a reminder, Jarvis, as well as Tactical Devils United, go over and subscribe to that. It's our backup channel, and it is a backup channel. It's not a new channel. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, it's not a new channel. It's just a backup channel. Sorry, Jarvis, go on, mate.
Yeah. It's just a backup channel. We will co-stream to that channel, so it's only to get enough viewing hours. And in case something happens and this channel is taken down, we always have a backup. And if you want to just have that backup with us, go subscribe to Tactical Devils United, as we are currently named at now. What did you call it at first? Was Tactical Devils?
Untied. Because I was typing quickly, so I called it Untied. I was typing quickly. We did it. Actually, Rich let everybody know that he had his channel taken down. So me and Jarvis were on the phone. I said, what should we do? He said, I'll just create a backup one. So I did. He was away. So created a backup one. I called it Untied because I was typing quickly and had to do a Teams meeting straight after. But anyway, it's Tactical Devils United. And it really is just me and Jarvis. We won't be going live with any videos on that. We're just going to be co-streaming.
I can't get it come up.
Let me just
and by the way, guys, at the end of the stream, I see Sarcasm City is live, so let's just redirect over to Flawless and check out his channel. He's actually doing the Palmer debate right now, so Tonali or Palmer. So if you want to see more on Sarcasm City, I will redirect you over to his channel. And please do me a favor, tell Flawless that it's a Tactical Devils raid, and give him a like. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you all the legends for being a part of the live chat, and go say hi to Flawless and Sarcasm City. So guys, have a good night, and we will see you on the next one. Bye bye.